gonna start in that arm saddle. So again, we're here. Bottom leg is pushing into the armpit, top leg is pushing into the hip. I'm making this switch. My top arm comes in, bottom arm scoop grips his leg. Top knee comes through, so the shin's in his armpit. Bottom knee comes to the near side, so I can put my foot on his hip. So now I have opposite corner control, right? I push him away, I let go of his arm at the same time, get him to post his hands, and now we sit up, come on top. I want to control this bottom knee, so I can immediately pass, to my twister side control, keeping this control. As I push his knee, it turns his hips. So I just sit my leg on top, turn his hips, and we slide into 411, and now I'm in 411 with double trouble. All right, so I got my points for the sweep, my points for the pass, and now I'm back on his legs, ready to attack again, and I'm up on points. Make sense? Let's do it. 3, 2, 1. Careful of what you're doing with your head, with that control. If I'm not tight with my head, he has the possibility to push my head and triangle me. All right? So you got to be aware that that is a possibility there, so that you don't put yourself right into a triangle. All right? Because nothing's more irritating than getting to a good spot of control, you hit a sweep and they throw you into a submission. So, right? So start there again, right? We're in that arm saddle.
Yeah, Elijah did that to several people.
Oh yeah, Elijah does it all the time, right? So I get my scoop grip, I slide this through. So as I kick him, right, and I start to make my way up, I want to be here, right? I always try to take my hand and connect it to my face, right? So, yeah, so I want to be in this spot, and then as I come up, I've got to watch his other leg trying to come above this hand. All right? So right now, I'm here. If he shoots his other leg round, he has a triangle. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
All right? So what's going to make that hard for him? The higher I get. All right? The higher I get, the harder it is for him to triangle me, and the harder it is for him to stop me from taking him over. Make sense? All right, and then we can get back to our spot here. Again, when I'm here, I'm just putting my leg on top of his leg. I pull this in tight, I put it here. When I push it away, watch what I do. Like I put my weight in my toes, and I come around the corner and I get perpendicular to him. So now I'm in 411, double trouble, scoop grip on this far leg. This is bad news for him, because I can simply go, and I've separated his legs with heel exposure, and we finish. All right? The trouble on 411 with double trouble is him using this leg to stop you from attaching to his heel. I already have a scoop grip. He can't put his feet together. All right? So if I keep this through the whole thing, when I get here, I already have this. So I'm just reaching down, pulling this up to my armpit, and then like we've talked about before, I'm trying to pinch the pad of his toes, right at the base of his toes, right? Don't worry about connecting to the heel. Pinch his toes, and then just bring your wrist up, and it's in the perfect spot. And we finish. Does that make sense? All right? So I want you to play with getting to that finish. I also want you to play with that detail when I get that scoop grip, keeping that tight. As I come up, I get it high, so that I can negate the try for that flying triangle, and as long as I keep this elbow tight, I'm good, because he needs to get under this arm. Keep the elbow tight as I come up, sit him down, pass his guard. Then we can go into the 411 with the double trouble and attack the heel. Make sense?
Can you show me what you did right before you went to 411? The little magic.
The magic trick?
I missed it.
Right? So when I get to this twister side and I have this scoop grip, all I'm doing is sitting my leg on top of his leg.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So now when I push this away, I'm going to loosen this up. right? And that's gonna allow me to turn my hips and go perpendicular and attach to his leg, all right? So I push, push,
Okay.
come around the corner,
Gotcha.
right? It's the same connections as the technical stand-up.
Okay.
Right? That's all I'm doing. Let's do it. 3, 2, 1. And then you're just gonna add in all the stuff we've just done, right? So now we have this full, progression of moves that, of where we're going. So we're gonna be playing our butterfly guard. Right, so what we're doing is I'm looking to hit an arm drag. So what I'm gonna do to Andy is I'm looking to connect the palm of my hand to the back of his hand. And then I'm gonna grip without a thumb over the top. You cannot encompass his thumb. This is illegal. That is a single digit. You cannot grab a single digit. So don't do this.
Can't grab a single digit, can't separate fingers.
Yeah, but I can do this, right? One small little change, and now it's less controlled than this for sure. But this is legal, this is not. On the street, grab his thumb, break his thumb off, I don't care, right? Jiu-jitsu tournaments, you have to do this, right? So I'm using this control because I want to turn his hand down and see how it brings his elbow out. That's what I'm looking for. I just need his elbow to travel away from his ribs a little bit because he's going to be in here looking at this because he doesn't want to give up underhooks and things like this, right? So I just turn this down, that starts to give me that pathway. I'm now reaching in and connecting to his elbow. So the arm drag starts, I'm not pulling his arm. I need to break his posture. So I do that by pushing his hand down and pulling his elbow to me. And it starts to bring his shoulder forward. As his shoulder comes forward, as soon as his posture starts to break, I can now guide his hand across to get to this arm drag. Right? Like it seems like a small thing, but this is huge. Because if I just grab and I try to pull, like now we're in a tug of war. Right? And he has an arm drag on me too, and it's who's gonna win the battle of the arm drag. If we're here, I'm gonna win the battle of the arm drag. He's not gonna arm drag me back. I've already broken his posture. Right? So we're here. As I pull his arm across, I'm staying connected to his tricep, and I'm turning, I'm dropping my elbow to the mat. So I have his arm pinned, right? So we're here. I need this pin because I'm gonna put all my weight into this arm. As I put that weight into this arm, I'm gonna pull my elbow in to open this up, and this hand comes across his head because it's gonna scoop this arm. All right, so I'm coming up here, this scoops, and I bring my shin across the back of his head all at the same time. So he was nice and let me pummel my foot through. In reality, if it's stuck right here, once I create the angle, I just pull it through and put it to his hip. All right, we're here. I'm elbow deep, connected to my thigh. We're here, and I'm looking at his feet. All right, so one of the things that will happen to you here is he'll take his far hand and push my foot off his head, and I just sit to my hip. And we're back to the arm saddle. And I'm here again. And now you can go back in to all the stuff we were just doing, right? So again, we're here. I'm getting control, turning his hand down. Grab the elbow, push the elbow forward. When his shoulder starts to break, I pull it across. As his hand hits the mat, I'm turning my body, connecting to him, and I'm dropping my elbow to the mat. All right, so we're here. Because he's gonna try to posture back up. So I wanna keep weight in him here, right, to keep him on this spot. Now, this hand comes to this side of his head. As I scoop and go elbow deep, shin across the back of the head. Once I cut my angle, it's easy for me to push this foot through. Even if he tries to keep it, like I can push that out. He pushes the foot off the top of my head, and I sit to my hip, and we're back to our arm saddle. And then we just start our whole sequence of what we were just doing. Does that make sense? Let's do it. 3, 2, 1.